Hey, I'm Cyclone, and today we take a look at maximizing the juice in Dunes with Legion, Breach, and beyond. Now, as per usual, if you also want to take a look at the setup or maybe make your own adjustments to it, if you go to my spreadsheet, you will find the Legion, the Dunes farming tab, where you can find the scabs I'm using, the sections I'm using, a PoE planner link for the tree, as well as a detailed list of my notable drops per map, to make your own opinion about the strategy. But let's get into the setup. This video will just be a bit more detailed, by the way. So, we are going to use Legion. We are going to guarantee us 3 Legions per map. We are going to use a Gilded Legion Scarab that guarantees us 1 Legion, and every Legion in the map will include Generals and or at least 1 Warhorde. We're also going to use a Legion Sextant, which guarantees us an additional Legion and the Legion on the map device, netting us our 3 base Legions. For our tree, we're going to get this to get additional chance for Legion, getting us on average every other or every third map, you get like, every 2 to 4 maps you get a 4th Legion. Now, for me it felt like mostly every other map, but per base map it should just be like every 4 maps you get a 4th Legion. It just felt a bit more common to me, but that could be my imagination, or it could be because I'm blocking too many other mechanics that it was that common. But anyway, I'm diverting. We're also going to take this keystone to get additional chance at the Warhorde, get an additional Warhorde. We're going to use Emblematic, of course, to get a chance of dropping emblems instead of splinters. We are passing only over the Maraketh one. As I noticed, if you take the Templar and the Maraketh one, you're getting more Templars, yes, but overall it feels like you're getting less Maraketh than if you would just take the Maraketh one. We don't need this notable here, as we are already covering a general spawn with a Legion Scarab. This one will just say, alright, you have a higher chance of a general, and if one appears, both appear. And lastly, we're also going to take this cluster over here to have an easier time killing the Legion enemies while they're in stasis, and having a higher time to kill everything while they're in stasis. And that is pretty much our Legion setup. As for our Breach setup, we are pretty much also taking almost all there is. We are going to use Flash Breach, obviously, to have a quicker time running the breach, and also having more enemies in the breach, resulting in more Sextant and more Splinter. We are going to use this cluster over here to allow us to get Breachstones instead of Splinters dropped from the boss. And we're going to be down here to have a higher chance of the boss appearing. And if we kill the boss, he drops double Splinters. With this, if you kill the boss, it will result in 20 splinters. As we are forcing Chayula, which I get to in a moment, we get 20 splinters per Chayula kill in the map. And lastly, we are down here, allowing us to get with Sal Ushan, or however he's called. If you kill him, he will always drop a Breachstone, but that one will be random, and he also drops a variety of splinters. You also get his hands, which drops a variety of splinters, and we have a more likely chance for additional breach. Now for breach, we're going to have 5 base breaches. We're going to have 2 from the Sextant and 3 from the Scarab. And we're going to use a second Sextant that allows us that all breaches will only be Chayula Breaches, giving us only Chayula Breachstones or Splinters from the map. Except, of course, if you get the Shush Alan, or however he's called. The rest of the setup is, I'm just going to summarize it here. We're going to use Beyond Sextant, as we wanted to test out how Beyond feels currently. We're going to use an Elder Scarab, as we have 1 slot remaining. We actually have 2 if you have a 5 device. We're going to use a Searing Exarch Influence to have the altars and the minions of his and get its Eldritch currency. As for the keystones for the influences, we are only going to use the right one. At least I recommend only using the right one, as we're going to rush the boss and just going to take the minion ones, and if you spawn an altar before that, take the boss one to maybe get additional drops from the boss, if he doesn't offer the minion option. And it will just result in more Eldritch currency, more base currency, divination cards, or scarabs from the Eldritch minions. The right one, the one keystone that is covered by the red bar here, is very profitable but also very deadly. If your build is not strong and your tankiness is not really well rounded, I cannot recommend this option. as it will result in you dying a lot. Now, of course, if you say, I don't mind dying, I don't need level ups, or I'm super tanky, it doesn't kill me, go ahead and take it. It will improve your returns per map. But in my case, I opted out of it because I wanted to get another level up. As the rest of the tree is, we have optionally intelligence gathering. See my previous video for more information on why that is a really good thing. But as a TLDR, you get safe houses, you get mastermind, and of course you get the loot from them. We're going to use singular focus to get only dunes or waste pool drops. Of course, if you already have a high amount of dunes, you can favorite something like Crimson Temple or whatever other map you like to sell for a profit, or use in a future strategy. We're going to use the 4 shapings combined with the 4 void stones to have every map drops 2 tiers higher. And we're going to block Metamorph, Blight, Ritual, Abyss, and Expedition. You can also consider blocking Harvest. I opted to just keep Harvest because I enjoy running the current Harvest. It is fairly quick and not too difficult. And lastly, we're also going to take the Beyond Notables on the tree, of course, for this one. That gives us a tiny chance of having more Beyond. And we're going to use the upper 2 small notables here to have more Beyond spawn. And you can also take the lower 2. However, the lower 2 will make it more likely that you get rares, but it will also make it more likely that you get the unique. And once you get the unique, of course, your map closes the Beyond, and you will no longer have Beyond enemy spawn. Now, this is a personal preference. Based on how you feel with it, go ahead and take it, because the rares will drop more tainted currency, but also the unique will spawn a bit earlier. So this is really just see how it feels and how it feels without, and choose the way you enjoy playing more. As our maps, we are going to wall the maps with Chisel, Arc, and wall them, and we're going to only keep 100 quantity maps or unidentified maps, which are averaging about 100 quantity or better, as to keep our juice on the map very high, or the base juice on the map very high. Summarizing everything I just said, we want to use Gilded Legion, Gilded Abyss, Rusted Elder Scarabs. If you have a 5-way device, you can use an Adiri Fragment or Bestiary Scarab or whatever you prefer. I used an Adiri Fragment. We are going to use 4 Sextant, Elevated Breach, and Breaches belong to Chayula, Beyond, and additional Legion. We're going to wall our map for 100 quantity or having them un-ID'd. And then we're going to add Legion on our map device. That is the setup. Let's see how much it costs. We are averaging about 2.6k chaos cost. This is considering that I bought the Sextant solo, or when somebody was offering bulk while at solo prices, I took that, and buying the scarabs in bulk of 10c plus. Amount of 10 plus in bulk. I also had a lot of sex packs laying around, so they were pretty cheap, and we're also going to use Legion on the map device. If you calculate the map worth with all the scarabs and maps in Excellence Next, it says about 1k chaos, but considering bulk and the sextants, we are more looking like 2.6k chaos or 14.5 divines in cost. But that is the cost. Let's actually take a look at what we are getting. Now, as for Legion, I've spent about 969 chaos investment in Legion totally over my 48 map, which is for 5.3 divines. And I've gotten 17 sets of 5-way emblems. Now I've gotten actually 17 Maraketh, 15 Templar, and like 20 plus of each of the Empire, Karui, and Wall one. And I took the liberty to just sell the X's, white, orange, and red one to myself, and bought 2 Templar ones for myself to make it just having 17 sets. And of course, you can call that a bit of cheating, or it's borderline not actually true. But as those ones sell for super cheap, the Templar Iron one isn't that pricey either, and most of the cost was the America's one. I just wanted to have the sets because the sets sell very quickly. They sell for 4.4 to 4.5 divines. I got okay hit for 4.45 divines, selling them for 7.65 divines total, netting me 2.35 divines in profit in emblems, which isn't that much. But I also got 15 divines from my 48 maps, and 13 of those came from Legion. Now, half of them were from chests or incubators I got from Legion, and the other half were from the Shakari, Solaris or Lunaris touched mobs. I also got 224 stacked decks, which I was able to sell for divines, for 2 divines, netting me 15 divines in profit from Legion indirectly, or well, directly in drops and in stacked decks, netting me a total of 17.35 divines profit, which I'm very happy about. Now for Breach, we spent about 123 chaos or 5.5 divines, and we've got 36 Breachstones. Now you could, if you try to sell them in bulk, they sell for about 1 divine for 3 Breachstones. However, people mostly just buy 1 to 2 Breachstones at a time, meaning that you sell them at the current rate. I was selling them for 59 chaos, but even for a little bit less, you are very easy making a lot of profit. I also got 3 Skin of the Loyals, 1 Skin of the Lord, and 5 Grasping Mails via the Breach rings dropped. However, all of those were pretty bad, so I haven't calculated them in the profit. The profit from Breach were purely the Chayula stones, which netted me 6.5 divines profit, which was absolutely amazing for the level of investment for Breach. Lastly, we also have Beyond. For Beyond, I spent 180C in Chaos for the Sextant, and I've gotten about 330 chaos profit return, making me 156 chaos profit. I've got, I would say, a bit unlucky. I've not seen a Tainted Exalt or a Tainted Chaos, which were the most pricey drops from Beyond, but by the looks of it, assuming you have an average luck or below average luck, Beyond Sextants are not worth it. However, walling Beyond on the maps and keeping the Beyond notables on the tree would be reasonable enough as to get additional bonus currency, as the Tainted Jewelers, Fusing, Chromatics, and even the Mythic Ops sell super quickly. Like, it was the last thing I listed and the first thing that sold. Now, combining everything, we are looking at about 6k chaos gains from the map, including 1 patient I've gotten from the first 4 maps that I run on Promenade before I realized Promenade is not the way to go. I just included the patient because I was doing a slightly different thing and then quickly adjusting it to the dunes farming I've shown in this video. As a profit, after we reduce the cost of that we spent at the beginning, we are looking at 3.4k chaos profit or 19 divines profit, which I would say for 48 maps is a pretty good rate, being about 71 chaos profit per map, and assuming you take about 7 minutes per map including the looting, it nets you about 611 chaos, which is a bit less than 4 divines profit per map. Now I also got a few lucky drops I want to mention. I got a Harvest Memory, a Fracture T1 gloss on Armor Evasion basis, and a Fracture T3 Suppression Shield, as well as 2 Conqueror maps and a Cortex, which, as I mentioned, are lucky drops, so I can't really include them in the calculatable profit of this run. But after I sold everything but those 6 things, I was at 24 divines and 3k chaos, reducing the cost of 15 divines. We are looking at 9 divines and 3k chaos, which is a really easy profit, as everything you get in this map, the Chayula Breachstones and the emblem sets and the stacked decks, which are a stable way of income, are selling super quickly, super easily, and it's very fast liquidation and easy money to make. But yeah, that's pretty much all I wanted to say. Now lastly, I guess you can also take a look at the potential profit you can make, assuming the average drops I've gotten. On average, I've gotten 5 chaos per map, a third of a divine per map, so a divine every 3 maps. I got almost a Chayula Breach in every map. I got a Templar or Maraketh emblem almost every 3 maps, totaling to about 120 chaos or 25 chaos per map. Again, minus the cost per map, we are looking at 70 chaos profit per map, which I would say is a decent amount as expected compared to the actual profit per map I made. But yeah, that's everything I wanted to say. Hopefully this video was helpful. If I have left anything open or there are any other questions, feel free to ask me in the comments. With that being said, have a great day.